Hey everyone, this is going to be your daily reading for February 20th. Almost done with the month. We got about, a week to go or so. I'm kind of going to jump into this. So, filming this night of the full moon. I don't know if that's why I don't have a whole lot to say, because this moon is happening in my third house. Just talking about me a little bit random. It's been a really wonky day. I don't know if you guys have been feeling it, but today just felt, not bad, it was just wonky. There was all kind of random things that happened today that were just unexpected. It was a day. But I'm so glad to sit down here with you. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start with our rune today. Seems appropriate after what's been going on. So we got the rune Nadiz. It's the rune of our needs. And if I really break it down and kind of simplify what this rune really means to today, we've had it before. We actually had it, I think we had it maybe like a week ago, maybe less than that actually, I think so. But it really tells us to focus on what our needs are, and truly what are they, and have we been living a life aligned with them, or have we been working towards someone else's needs, towards someone else's goals. There also is another thing I'm getting other than just this alignment with our needs and all of that. There's also almost this like kindling or even a rekindling of passion. This could be, a creative project or just something that's important to us that we put on the side. This could also be a relationship, because this is a fire rune. So, romance and emotions kind of all roll into that. So there could be, for some of us, a little romance bubbling up. I would say the biggest thing is really acknowledgement of our needs. And also success through our own efforts, making sure we're going after that. We have a bunch of aspects today. I'm not going to talk about all of them because a lot of them have kind of just been coming the past few days. The big one that I want to talk about, our moon does make a trine with Saturn, which I think really kind of heavily aligns with this rune, because that particular aspect is all about Saturn giving benefit or giving reward for owning and accepting your duties and responsibilities, which is kind of what this rune is about, success through your own efforts. So Saturn's kind of like, I got you, if you'll just man up and do what you need to do. The other aspects we've had before, so there's a trine with Venus, which just makes everyone, warm and lovey-dovey. You may be attracted to, the arts and music and things like that. We do have two oppositions, one, both with the moon, one to Neptune, and I think the other to Mercury. So the mind, the thoughts, it might be a little hard to express or formulate, ideas about what you're feeling. Even your sense of, maybe your ambition or your imagination can even be a little meh. And again, oppositions aren't necessarily bad. It's just kind of like the two energies are on opposite sides of the table. They just kind of don't see eye to eye. They don't really get each other. So they're not necessarily fighting with each other. They just kind of don't get each other. And then another big one that I want to talk about, kind of like the trine, we do have one square, and it's with Jupiter. So again, not really a bad thing, because again, Jupiter is our most benefic planet. So you're really not going to say anything, or you're not really going to have an aspect with Jupiter that is harmful. I just wanted to point this out because, again, squares are points where action is required. We need to do something about it. With that said, this aspect, can someone sometimes kind of give us, you may kind of fall into doubt, because you're not seeing the gifts that Jupiter is trying to give. And it doesn't mean you're not even getting them. It may be just a little more subtle, or they're just not coming right now. They're coming later. So sometimes doubt can kind of creep in that you just want to be aware of. Don't give it to that. Don't give up just yet. It can also make us a little overindulgent. So it's almost like going in the opposite direction. So that's another thing. Just be aware of that. Don't kind of fall into that trap. Just honing our needs, acknowledging what it is you need. And just kind of manning up and putting the effort into it. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to add to that. I think that's pretty much the gist of it. Yeah, so let's hop into some cards, shall we? Tilt this guy down. One day I will learn to edit, or at least get editing software, and then I can just cut these two moments together. you know, as we grow and evolve, right? All right, so I grabbed the Oracle of Mystical Moments. One of my favorites. Just felt like the right deck to use today. Yeah, we're not taking that. No. That was like a fourth of the deck. Thank you. Oh, someone's... I like that. We'll take that little sucker. Oh, we got a couple that flipped over. You know what? I'm into that. We're going to take those 4. Why not? Awesome. Okay. So normally if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I normally, especially for this deck, I'll read them from the book. I think today we're just kind of we'll just feel them out a little bit. What if this camera is just closer to me? I'm not used to seeing that much. There we go. Now you can see all 4 of them. Beautiful. All right. So first one out. We got the Queen Bee card. I really think this is kind of our position, whether we're aware of it or not, you know, and maybe that's where Nadiz comes in with acknowledgement that we really are in control. We are sitting at the top of the heap, you know, and with that, you know, yes, you know, we get to focus on our needs because we're queen, you know, we're sitting at the top. We get to, you know, we get to do what we need to do. But with that, it's not just about sitting pretty and having all the luxuries. You have an entire colony here of little bees, little worker bees in here that you need to provide for, and you have a responsibility to them. I definitely think that is, you know, kind of indicative of what's going on. We're here trying to build our empire, trying to build our legacy. You know, we have certain responsibilities with that, and I think this is just a heads up, you know, not to shirk on those. You can kind of even see in the card, I'm not sure if it'll focus that close, but you can see her holding, you know, 2 little worker bees in both hands and kind of looking down on them. You know, this really has to do with being attentive to their needs. It's almost like she's offering them up to the flowers to, like, you know, have some food, get some pollen, drink some nectar, all of that fun stuff. So I do think there is this sense of taking care of duty and taking care of responsibilities. This may even be taking care and reaching out to others, you know, the people who are helping you out or have helped you along the way or supporting you. You know, it may be time to, like, think of them and consider what's going on there. The gardener, to me, I always think of a question when I see this card. You know, what is growing in your garden? You know, what is it you are trying to blossom or bring to fruition? I also think of, are you tending to it? Are you tending to the garden? Is it just, you know, you planted some seeds, you walked away, and you think you're going to walk back one day and, like, oh, look, I have a fruit tree, you know, like, or are you there watering? Are you taking the weeds out, you know, anything that gets in the way? You know, I almost want to say, how are you nurturing and how are you cherishing, you know, what's being grown? And you can kind of even see that she's kind of part of it. You can see, like, if I were to cover her feet there, you know, you can kind of see the grass is growing up, you know, around her dress that looks like a building, but her feet come out from under there. It's almost like her feet are the roots and this is the actual, you know, the actual ground. Like, she's also been planted, you know, she is also growing as we are growing. So not only is our hopes and our desires growing, we too are growing, which is why we need to be so diligent and maintaining. It's not just about setting an intention and walking away. You do have to take care of it. New directions as I cover that, you know, and I think this is just, yesterday in our daily we got the Fool card, so it makes, to me, it's not a surprise that we get the new directions here in our oracle again. We are starting this new path, not necessarily changing goals, but I think we are moving in the right direction. We are taking steps down a new path that we've created for ourselves, because our dreams lie down this path, not the path we were on. So I think this is just another sign that we are moving in the right direction. And tiny triumphs. I think this is what's going to help keep us. So I talked about that doubt because of the square with Jupiter. You know, and this is good no matter what aspect or not. You know, making sure to remember, the little successes and the little wins and the little victories. That's what keeps our morale up, that keeps spirit up, keeps the energy up, so we don't, lose sight and feel like we're not growing and we're not making it, because we are. We just need to remember to keep that in mind. It's not about jumping all the way from the finish line to the end. There are little milestones in between that show us our progression. Oop. Lost that guy. All right, Spirit, what do we need to know about today? One more. Ooh, Ace of Pentacles, the abundance, the gift, coming. Beautiful. The World card. So completing of a cycle, beginning of a cycle. Look at that. Told you, we're on a new path. We're done with the old one. And then the Judgment card, our calling, following our divine purpose. If you at any point were doubting you were going in the right direction, to doubt no longer. Like, you are going in the exact right direction, all right? And I think that's especially, I keep bringing it back to little triumphs, because I feel like a lot of us, maybe in this mindset, like, oh, I made the choice, I did the things, why am I not successful? Why do I not see growth? Why do I not have, more money in the bank account? Why do I not have the bigger house? Why do I not have the partner? Like, all these things. But again, you need to look at the little victories. The big one is coming, but it takes a little bit of time. We're still building this empire here, this queen bee. That doesn't mean we're not a queen bee. We will be a queen bee long before we have the entire hive. We're still building the hive, so it's fine. We're still operating a queen bee, taking care of who needs to be taken care of, what needs to be taken care of, celebrating the milestones along the way as we head in this new direction. And this is telling me we are perfectly aligned with that. We've completed the old cycle here with the world and the abundance, following, this judgment, this call from the angels. Good job, everyone. Good job. All right, that was, okay. No, we're not taking that. That was a real sloppy one. There's a whole lot of stuff in there. We even had some stuff in here. Oh, someone ran away. Hold on. Okay, Spirit, I'm glad you got lots to say to us. But let's do it in small chunks, can we? Thank you. Did I not just say small chunks? This was a smaller chunk. I'll take it. All right. Oh, these were just in the other one. All right. Okay, we've got some good cards here. So bottom of the deck, Five of Wands, inner conflict. What are we struggling with? Looks like those doubts I talked about are creeping in. I don't think they're warranted. I think those are just, being anxious or impatient. I literally do not think you have anything to worry about. So, we have two pages. Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands. Not bad energies. And, pages are always a new beginning. So, again, I don't think it's odd that they show up. But again, this is, Page of Pentacles is that, ultimate potential. This energy is just, it's nothing. And from this nothing can come everything. So yeah, and this is kind of you're going to be whatever you want to be. This is the potential that lies within you. And then here we have the Page of Wands, which is that initial spark of passion. I talked about in our rune today in Nadiz that it's like that kindling of passion. So I think it's that ember that you need to keep lit. So, and maybe you're going through a moment where you're reigniting it, or maybe this is just a moment you've got to just fan those flames a little bit. And I think those little victories are a great way to do that and remind you of the progression you've made. We also have the Justice card, so it could be dealing with a Libra. You could be a Libra. But this is more of, you know, that karmic balance coming around. You know, to me, this is justice in the sense where, you know, you kind of get in what you put out. You know, the scale has to be balanced. If you need a bunch of effort out of it, you need to put a bunch of effort into it. So I think that's really where this justice card is coming. We also have the 7, you know, which is all about confusion, so many options. I think this confusion is really coming from us looking at too many things. You know, we're looking at, you know, maybe yes, some good things, maybe yes, some bad things, some things that we've yet to see, some imaginary things, you know, like, I think this is us just looking for answers in too many places, which is causing more frustration and causing more confusion, which is not what we want. I think that's where that 5 of Wands are coming. And then we got 2 cards in reverse that I saved for last. But we have the 5 of Swords and the 10 of Swords in reverse, which I think is great in this aspect because it's almost like the swords are falling out. Whatever external conflicts, if you had beef with someone or you felt like someone was trying to get one over in you or was playing some games, that is going to be over and done with. And the 10 of Swords also over and done with. You know, and I think this is, you know, almost like I feel like this is past. This is old energy that we're healing from, which is why it's coming up in the reverse. We're letting the swords fall. You know, we're not holding on to them anymore. We're releasing them. So again, appropriate. I know this is for the 20th, but I am filming it on the 19th. So the full moon is literally right above me right now. So I think it makes perfect sense. This is coming to an end. We're releasing this suffering. This may even be where some of that 5 of Wands is coming from. You know, this idea of, oh, I'm not doing it. I could have made a wrong choice. Like I did this to, you know, be more successful and I'm not seeing it. You know, whatever, however that, you know, is possibly playing out. I think that energy of lack needs to come to an end and needs to be released. You know, and if you haven't yet, I think that's what you can use, you know, this full moon to help you with. And, you know, that may have been what it was here for, depending where Virgo shows up for you in your, you know, in your own chart. Let's do bottom of the deck and then we'll wrap it up. So we already talked about this guy, 5 of Wands. Hanged Man, look at that. So a little bit of processing to go through, you know, a little internal search. But I feel like we're doing this. We're going through that pause, you know, and then eventually it helps us see the light. King of Cups, so maybe could be dealing with a water sign. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio could be a thing. I feel like this, who was it? One of the signs in the love reading, I almost want to say it was Pisces, maybe Pisces. If you're Pisces, let me know in the comments. Did I get that right? I know someone had it. I want to say it's Pisces. This showed up as, you know, like a lover coming in. So could be the same thing here. This could be, I talked about that, you know, possible romance kicking up because of Nadiz. Could be a water sign coming in. At the very base or fundamentals, this card is someone who feels a depth of emotion, a lot of emotion. May not necessarily be showing it because he knows how to ride these waves, but definitely someone with a lot of feeling. Also the 2 of Pentacles, a decision needing to be made. Also maybe being a little flexible. Also got the High Priestess in here. Big hit to your intuition. I think that's as far as I'm going to go. Big hit to the intuition. Letting, you know, your gut kind of guide you and listening to those internal cues. And honestly, I think that makes good sense, especially with you know, these swords going through this healing moment. I think if we kind of let the logical mental side of us take a little breather, because it's healing from, you know, these are some hard energies, 5 and 10 of Swords. If we kind of let that recover, you know, maybe a little out of sorts because maybe you were betrayed or someone came for you, you know, and that kind of left you in a certain place. I think allowing, you know, your gut, your soul, you know, whatever you want to call it, to kind of take the lead while this side of you, this part of you, kind of recovers in a way. You know, it just had 15 swords pulled out of it, right? But yeah, honestly, I think this is a really good reading for us, just helping us to refocus and definitely look at those little wins and kind of celebrate the progress we've made, and really looking at the path that we're on and how we've gotten there. And even if we only took 2 steps down it so far, be proud of those 2 steps, because they are 2 steps in the right direction. I feel like all of this is just kind of getting us to refocus on the now, because I think we're looking a little too far, which is where this confusion is coming from, why we're still processing. If we can just kind of be here in the moment and focus on what our immediate needs are, and with this justice card, what we're doing about them, what we're putting into those desires, you know, because what we get out is what's going to be balanced by that. So I think that's the big message here. But at the very least, if you take anything away from this reading, take it as confirmation that you are on the right path. You are totally on the right path. You've closed out what needed to be closed out. You've started this new beginning, and this new beginning is perfectly in alignment with your divine purpose and your abundance. You know, now it's this present moment where we just need to rebalance and make sure the focus is right, but we are heading in the right direction. Amazing. So, with that said, I'm going to wrap it up here. Awesome, exciting read for us. Thank you again for joining me. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Just helps the channel to grow. And as always, I love hearing from you guys. Anything you want to share, questions you have for me, drop it in the comment section below. You can even DM me on Instagram at The Guiding Chariot. And if you want to book a private session with me, all that info will be in the description box below. All right, my lovelies, you have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.